the self is only known by itself. And therefore, only yourself can tell you anything about itself. Other people can ask you questions such as in our previous conversations, is the feeling of awkwardness, the feeling of fear, the experience of depression, are these feelings inherent in myself? But it is for you to answer that question. And in order to answer that question, you have to go to yourself. You have to find out, is fear inherent in what I am? Yes, fear visits me from time to time. That's another matter. But is it essential to me? Does it define me? Does it limit me? Does any experience limit me? It is for you to know. Another person might say, as indeed I sometimes do, your essential self is without limits. But this is not said, it is not said with the intention of your believing that. It is said simply to confront our old beliefs and feelings that what I am is temporary and finite. But in some ways it is more efficient not to say what our self is, to simply ask the question. If you go to the experience that shines in your mind as the knowledge I am, what do you find there? Does it have an age? Does it have a gender? Does it have a location? Does it have a... And in order to answer each of these questions, you have to go a little bit more deeply into that you call I. You have to taste yourself more deeply, more intimately. So you come to your own knowledge. Yourself comes to a knowledge of itself. In fact, the self is always knowing itself, but its knowledge of itself is mixed with its knowledge of experience, and thus it seems not to know itself clearly. So these questions are like bread, it's like a breadcrumb, it's like Ariadne's golden thread that leads the self apparently more and more deeply into itself until it can't go any further, until it tastes its essential, irreducible essence. But nobody can, only the self can know itself.
I feel there's also like an embracing of the body, because that would feel more intellectual for me, like just on the I am, and just it would be much more mind-made. And because when I do that, I kind of forget about the body.
Well, I recommend that while you are exploring who you essentially are, you do indeed forget about your body, and you forget about your mind, and you forget about your activities, your relationships, because this is not, at least this stage of the investigation, is not an investigation into your body, your mind, your activities, or your relationships. It's an investigation into you.
But wouldn't that be as a split up? Like I'm separating myself from the body?
Separate yourself from the body to begin with. Your body is not essential to you.
But
you come back. This is not a nihilistic approach. I'm not suggesting that we won't come back to our thoughts, our sensations, our perceptions, our activities, our relationships. But you have to see first clearly who you are. You have to see that what you essentially are is independent of experience. That includes the independence from your body, because as long as you feel this identity with your body, you will feel, no matter how, and you have come across this in your previous relationships, no matter how smart one's mind might be, if you feel that what I essentially am is identical to my body, two essential emotions will govern your life: the fear of disappearance and the sense of lack. Because you will feel, this body, am going to disappear. I was born and I will die. So the existential fear of disappearance will be dictating what you think and feel and how you subsequently act and relate from behind the scenes. And if you feel that what you essentially are is identical to your body, you will feel that you are a fragment. And this fragment will always be seeking to complete itself through the acquisition of objects, substances, relationships, states of mind, and substances. So yes, to begin with, ignore everything that is not essentially yourself. When you have recognized what you essentially are, then come back and incorporate your experience of your body, your activities, your relationships, in a way that is consistent with your understanding. And this will prevent you from ever having to, this will prevent the ego, the separate self, ever appropriating this teaching, this understanding, in order to perpetuate its temporary, finite existence, which you know very well.
I feel like I've been through there, and now it's time to integrate the
okay.
Somehow. Yeah, because it's normal, you know, like we're spiritual beings, but we're still, like, it's obvious.
Is there anything to your experience of your body other than the knowing of it?
Can you repeat that?
Is there anything to your experience of the body other than the knowing of it?
Sensations?
Is there anything to a sensation other than the knowing of it?
There's emotions too. Emotions, like with
emotion. Is there anything to an emotion other than the knowing of it?
There could be like stories.
Is there anything to a story other than the knowing of it?
Yeah, well,
look around your experience now. Both your internal experience, your thoughts, your feelings, emotions, sensations, and your external experience, the world, which you experience in the form of sights, sounds, tastes, textures, and smells. Is there anything to your experience, inner or outer, other than the knowing of it?
No.
Is anybody here currently experiencing anything other than the knowing of their experience? Has anyone here ever experienced anything other than the knowing of experience? And imagine if we were to ask this question, not just to those of us interested in non-duality, but imagine asking this question to all 7 billion of us. Let's include the animals, 7 trillion. Have any of you ever known? Could any of you ever know, or do any of you know anything other than the knowing of experience? In other words, is anything other than knowing ever truly known? Has anyone ever found anything other than knowing in experience? How do we know there is something other than knowing? We don't. Matter, the stuff out of which you believe your body is made, is the stuff that our contemporary culture tells us exists outside of knowing, outside of consciousness. We've been looking for this stuff for 2,500 years. We still haven't found it. We're not going to. It's not there. So don't try to bring this understanding into your body. Try to bring your body into this understanding. Feel your body in a way that is consistent with this understanding. Don't limit this understanding to your body. Your body is an ocean of sensations and perceptions, free-floating, borderless, limitless, free in this expanse of awareness. If I were to ask you now, where does the sensation? Close your eyes. Don't refer to your memory. You're a newborn child. You've only just been newborn infant. You've just been born. You have no memory to refer to. Tell us about your experience of your body without reference to memory. In other words, referring only to your direct experience of your body.
As a newborn?
Sorry? Keep your eyes closed. Tell us about your current, direct, intimate experience of your body without reference to memory.
I feel a tingling in my feet.
What do you know of feet without reference to memory?
There's a weight on my feet.
What do you know of, why do you think that this tingling is something called weight without reference to memory?
I mean, there's a pressure, there's obviously something.
There's obviously something, perfect. Tell us about that something. Not philosophically, in your experience.
Yes.
What are you experiencing? Do you see each question I ask you, you remove another layer of concepts, beliefs, memories. Tell us about the raw experience.
It feels energy.
Energy. Tell us about it.
It moves around. And
it is what did you say?
Moving around.
Moving. It's amorphous. Can you find an edge to it?
It finishes on my...
Sorry?
It finishes on... It doesn't go beyond my skin.
What knowledge of skin do you have with your eyes closed and without reference to memory?
Something that just covers me.
Something that...
Covers me.
You're referring to concepts, you're not referring to your experience. Do you see how profoundly your concepts have conditioned your experience of the body, that even when we do this experience, you talk of skin and feet, although you have no current direct experience of something called skin.
Like if you ask, I would answer, but I really don't need to name it.
Well, you do need to name it for this reason, because you are already naming the body. You are already saying, I am limited by my skin. You are already naming, so I'm asking you these questions in order to refine and refine and refine and refine. I'm trying to push you gently, more deeply into the experience of your body, because I'm trying to respond to your question about incorporating this understanding in your body. I'm trying to show you that your body, what you call your body, is not your body. That if you shut your eyes and you go innocently, with the innocence of a newborn infant that knows nothing, that knows its experience, but doesn't know what its experience is, and you just speak of that, the raw experience itself, you will find that your body is a flow of sensing and perceiving, that it has no shape, it has no size, it has no age, it has no gender, it has no location, it has no nationality, it has no age. That is the true experience of your body. What you think is the true experience of your body is just layer upon layer upon layer upon layer of concepts that you have inherited from your culture.
I mean, I also... I'm sorry. But I also feel that the body is always present. Like, you can always come back to the body.
No, the body is not always present in your experience. The body is experienced as a flow of sensations and perceptions, and no perception or sensation is always present. You have an intuition, I am always present. You're correct. But because of your association of what I am with the body, you think the body is always present. So there is truth in your intuition, I am always present. But you have mixed up what you are with the body, so you think it is the body that is always present. It is not the body that is always present, it is you that is always present.
It is me, including the body. I'm so sorry, I just don't want to leave it out. It just doesn't feel right. It's as if it could hold it, you know? It just
everything that is present in your experience borrows its apparent existence from the only one that truly exists. When you feel my body is absolutely real, you're right. When you feel the world is real, you are absolutely right. There is no such thing as an unreal experience. Your experience of the body is absolutely real. Your experience of the world is real, but the question is, what is its reality? And in order to find out what is the reality of your experience, you have to go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into it. And if you do that, what you will find, I'm not going to name what you will find. Thank you very much.